I mean, I would make the witticism that like VP's now glad it's a best of 5, and this would have been a humiliating best of 3. But admittedly, it wouldn't have been these exact maps first of all in such a scenario. But what a dominating first 2 maps for Fnatic. I mean, they literally had massive leads at the beginning of both of them, and the fact that the cash one looked a lot closer, but even so, the game was already out of control after half one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so on Cobble, first of all, Virtus Pro are like, well, we're good on this map.
They're very good.
And they are. I mean, you know, the numbers bear that out. The numbers don't lie, right? They can win on that map. But, you know, you got like, what was it? Was it 10-0 down? More? 11-0? You know, you simply cannot do that. No matter what side you start on, that's unacceptable. So, all right, okay. Cash. They're great. We all know Virtus Pro are good on cash, right? I mean, they're great. Nah. The same again.
Yeah, not this time.
10-0 down, 11-0 down. So, for a team that everyone, you know, I mean, again, people don't say it as much as they used to, but, you know, we all talk about Virtus, Plow, blah, blah, blah. They literally never got started at any point in the game. And what's worrying for me is that when you look in the booth, they're doing that thing that they do, where they're not talking to each other now. They're clearly not happy. The blame game started. And that's, we probably are looking at a 3-0 here, because Dust2 is a map they would usually ban their veto phase. You know, they don't want to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, it's not even hard to analyze. Like, this is a malfunctioning Virtus Pro here, but yeah, what Fnatic are doing is incredible. I mean, again, this is the Fnatic that does win tournaments and wins them at a canter. You know, they just beat everybody.
You know, and you mentioned Virtus Plow, and like you look at that first game, and we had that crazy round 12. Flusha is going to lose the round. Right? There's a few seconds left. All he's got to do, I want to say, was Snacks or Bialy just catch him, but he's nowhere near him. But he just catches sees his butt right there in the crack, kills him, and that's kills the Plow, kills the money, and it was over.
Well, that was one of the key factors to this game. I'll on one hand, I'll go in on Semler. Like, he was like, yeah, we expected Virtus Pro to be winning this Cobblestone game. You did, mate. I didn't. I thought Fnatic definitely had Cobblestone. But I'll give him credit. The Cobblestone game should have been closer, just like the Cash game could have even been more closer. What happened was, Fnatic had all their rounds. Their rounds were in the bank. That was safe. They have X amount of rounds each half. But then they got all of the rounds that could have been Virtus Pros as well. Every time it was in a clutch round situation, 1-on-2, 1-on-1. The only one I can think of that they lost was the crucial one where JW shot his own teammate to allow Taz to win a mad like 1v3 or something. Aside from that, every miracle round went to Fnatic. There was the one where JW no-scoped Snacks around the corner, just instantly pre-fired him with a no-scope. That doesn't even work with an AWP in CSGO. There's the one you're talking about where he caught him with seconds left. Presumably this is the one where he pretty much has to rush the whole way. And Bialy, Snacks has to pretty much guess entirely wrong to get caught here. And manages not only that, to get caught with his back towards him. Like almost everything has to go wrong here for him to win that round. And then beyond that, if we go over to Cash, that round that Olofmeister won where he was like 1v2 was out of this universe.
Yeah.
That should never have been won.
And just speaking of him, I mean, again, he went 18-0. That alone destroys you.
Normally, VP, they have that nip quality where, okay, even if you're actually smashing them in the overall game, you've got the better tactics, the better setups. The thing is, if they can just get into those 2v2s, 2v3s, that's where they shine. They'll get a couple of those. They're really gritty. They're really hard to put away. They're not getting any of those in general. They maybe had 1 or 2 in the whole 2 maps. And so when you add in Fnatic's already playing better than them, have an advantage on some of these maps, not Cash, admittedly, then you add it all together, and that's why it looks like it's destiny that Fnatic's going to win. I mean, at this point, 3-0 probably.
Yeah. I mean, that round that we just highlighted there, with you say where everything has to go wrong with Snacks to get caught, that is what starts the blame game in Virtus Pro. Because somebody there will have said to him, "How have you got caught? We could have done it. You could have done it differently. Why weren't you hidden? Why did you go that far? Why did you gamble? Should have stayed central in the map than wherever you go." You know, there's going to be some sort of arguing that starts there, and that's when the communication breaks down. People get upset with each other in that team. They're notorious for it. Yeah. Interestingly enough, as well, and I don't know if this is the thing. Apparently, this rivalry with Pasha and Olaf.
Yeah.
It is actually. You know, there's a bit of substance to it. It's not just friendly banter. Apparently, they do want to sort of assert this dominance over each other. They've changed their names.
Yeah.
You've noticed that?
Yeah.
The 3-1 and the $100.
Yeah.
This is about a 1v1 competition that they're doing. So they're like pumped to want to beat the other one. I'm just wondering if Virtus Pro here are just mind gaming themselves. Like, just do what you do, play your own game. We all know Fnatic are the best team in the world. If you beat them, you're not going to suddenly replace them as the best team in the world. You've just got to stay true to yourself and do what you can do and play to your strengths. And they're just not doing that right now.
Yeah, and they're basically trash talking via their names, right? The
Yeah.
$100 is actually Pasha beat him in a 1v1 online. They were both streaming, and they went for an AMAP session. And so Pasha won the $100, so he changed his name.
Yeah.
And that's why you saw Olaf Meister put 3-1, because that's going to be the score, bro.
Yeah, right.
And he might want to, maybe he's going to change it. Who knows? Halfway through this one.
So there we are. Yeah, 3-0 is
Exactly.
is coming. So it's insane, really, that to even sort of get yourself bogged down in little things like that. It's great when you're winning. It's great when you're the best team.
Yeah.
Less so when you're behind. Just makes you look a little bit foolish. And again, they are the people who sort of that does put them on tilt. They can tilt on the big occasion.
Yeah, so let's take one more look. We've got if you just tuned in, you can kind of see how the maps and the vetoes played out, because it's been a while since we showed it. So again, as you can see, Fnatic got rid of Train, Virtus.pro got rid of Inferno, and then you see who chose. So Fnatic had won their choice. Now they've won Virtus.pro's first choice, and a third map's going to be Dust2, also Fnatic's choice.
And I do not see how Virtus.pro can win on Dust2. I mean, I really don't. It's not like Fnatic are amazing on it, but the point is Virtus.pro, they try and avoid this map wherever possible in vetoes. They don't really like to play it. It's not something that they feel adept at. They don't really, on the occasions they do play it, they don't really have a particularly good sort of CT synergy. So they're letting too many T rounds get away from them. Fnatic, on the other hand, perhaps not in this current iteration, and we didn't see a lot of this when Flusha called at PGL, but maybe with Pronax back, it'll be different. But they used to have like a really, really good CT setup on Dust2. So keep in mind that the harder half is the T half, and Virtus.pro are already, going into everything's on Bialy basically as the entry fragger at that point. Now, if he can't deliver, they're done. I mean, they're out. It's 3-0, and like I say, I just can't see it at this juncture. I wish I could. I wish I could sort of just visualize how they're going to win, but I just can't.
And I was just looking down there, and like you said, they're also a notorious team that will leave the booth every map and talk and regroup.
Yeah.
2 of them left to go to the bathroom, and the rest stayed. So they didn't even do their kind of standard regroup.
The thing is, I don't know what there is to discuss, because as I kind of emphasized there, it's not even just the game. It's not the meta game. It's not the strategy that you're losing on. Some of that's okay. Actually, you could have had maybe 8-10 rounds on both maps. It's that every lucky moment, every moment where there's massive amount of chance on either side is just overwhelmingly slammed over to the Fnatic side. So then you feel like, what am I supposed to do here? This is one of the scenarios where if I'm VP, even if I lose 3-0, it doesn't feel like you actually got stomped 3-0. It just feels like there was nothing you could do on that day. This person was unplayable. I mean, think of the people who are dominating on Fnatic, not just Olaf.
No.
Olaf's it's an overused cliche that, everyone turned up for this team because people want to spread the wealth when a team wins. But okay, JW was unstoppable on the first map. Flusha had these crazy rounds. Then on the second map, Crims and Olaf are just doing whatever they want. They're even winning that round where they had nearly all Tech 9s versus a full buy setup, and they're just killing everyone. I mean, I don't really know for VP what's supposed to change. Some of their players have been fragging. Some of them had some rounds they've won, but I don't know who from Virtus.pro can suddenly beat out that many players playing well at once.
Yeah, and like I say, this has got to be Bialy's time. Like this is a map where entry fragging's hugely important on Dust2. I mean, it's hugely important in general, but I think on Dust2, to be able to get on those bomb sites, especially B, where you can do the quick executions, easy bomb site to hold, quite hard to retake as CT. Bialy needs to be on point, but there's no evidence that anyone at Virtus.pro is even close to a single, like Fnatic's worst player right now. If you were to pick him up, just drop him into Virtus.pro, you'd probably elevate their level by like 20%. Like he would just undoubtedly. So yeah, again, it's looking real tough for Virtus.pro. Like they were my pick as dark horses. They're a team I love to watch, but Fnatic are just imperious right now.
This is where, if you're Fnatic, you even love having JW more, because you're 2 maps up. You can even afford to lose this, but obviously you're not trying to lose. So on this type of a map, Dust2, this is another notorious JW highlight map on CT side. So this is another map where you just let him go free. And because he has the confidence of, I'm 2 maps up already, if I can do any damage to them, if I can mess with them at all, I can go even crazier. I can go out when they're setting up for an attack. I can pick people up and be obnoxious, in fact. When they're setting up for a slow B, we're pushing out of long, going behind them spawn. This is where actually, back in 1.6, what's funny, the Virtus.pro, well, they're not Virtus.pro back then. They used to be like PGS and ESC, etc. That's what they used to do. If they were ahead of you, they would kind of like dominate you by just bullying you and making it so that you couldn't even leave spawn on some of these maps, like on Dust2. So I think this is where JW's just turned loose completely, and that could be the 3-0.
Yeah,
right
if
there.
you're already on tilt, JDW is the guy who's going to make you rage quit.
Yeah, and again, we always talk about like when you're down, getting your momentum back, like throwing what just happened away, resetting. We're going to see how Virtus Pro does it because they are very down.
VP don't
These
do
weren't
that.
close matches.
And remember, they have to win all 3 in a row.
Yeah, that is. It could happen. It could happen. But our cashers are ready. They're definitely ready down there. So let's give it back to Henry G and Semler. Take it away, gentlemen.
Okay, welcome back. Speed tweeting, man. New sport. So there we have it, guys. It is a 2-0 lead. I mean, the analysts have broken it down for us essentially, and it really is tough to call because we were just going over it in the break as well.
Yeah.
What do you say for VP apart from the fact that they're really just needing to come through in the clutch, and they aren't doing it right now?
That's the key word there, clutch. The fact that Fnatic seems to be winning every single one, and the players going big in these 1-on-X situations, even when it's on 1-on-2, they seem to be favouring Fnatic every single time. It's when the lead's getting that big, you need to start waking up here. And the key players like Pasha, they only seem to be waking up when it's like the last 3 rounds of the map, and that's when they seem to start adapting properly. And for me, it's not good enough. They need to start working out what's going wrong earlier in the game, and now they're going to Dust2, famously their weakest map. I feel like the odds really are stacked against them.
I agree. I mean, we talked about this before the break as well, the fact that there was a bit of a gamble involved with the fact that VP took out Inferno.
Yep.
It was 100%, pretty much 100% win for Fnatic if they were to play it, so they took a risk. They said, well, you know what, we'll get rid of Inferno, we'll leave Dust2 in here, but it's kind of like halfway in the pack. So as long as we pick up one of these first maps, we'll be all right, right?
Absolutely.
And that's not what we're seeing. It's a 2-0 lead for Fnatic. So VP have now got their backs to the wall on Dust2, and we have to see them win this night round. They need to get to decide which way they're going to start, and they do actually pull it off. So they get to elect whether they want to start on T side or CT side. I think it's kind of up in the air as to where they want to go with it, but it looks like they are going to switch. So VP going terrorist to start here on this map. This is interesting.
But the thing is with Dust2, it doesn't really matter what side you go. Like, especially, it's not like a Mirage or an Overpass or something like that. Like, it doesn't, like, CT is not a huge advantage to have. And so they're starting T. Could be interesting to see. Like, they want to build some momentum here. The pistol, I have to stress, is going to be so important here. And you can see they've got a smoke grenade in hand and a couple of armor. Fast round coming in, but is that Pronax, sorry, picking up the first frag, and finally goes down, and not the start they needed.
And that's pre-fire as well from Pronax. So really, you're just running right into a random bullet thrown out there by Pronax, and this time Pronax gets it done. They should have heard the rotation coming in onto Cat as well. JW does manage to sneak his way through here. Taz trying to hold up on Cat, trying to buy some time for that plant to happen. And this will be a retake scenario now for Fnatic. Flusha on long, already on plateau, doing some decent damage there, and JW will catch out Taz. But there's a second man alive on Cat, and that is Snacks. It is key, it is essential now for Virtus Pro to hold on to this position on the map. Pronax now starting to push up with the help of Flusha on long. They're slowly sandwiching Virtus Pro in here. The man on Cat needs to live, that is Neo, because he's about to lose his teammate here on the site. Pasha's just still trying to hold out as best he can, but JW, Pronax each picking up kills, and it will be Neo, the last man alive in this 1v3. Does take out 2, but the third one not meant to be. Flusha will be there, and now Crims just barely getting the fuse in. That's incredible. Fnatic couldn't have cut it any closer.
Yeah, nice work from Fnatic in the opening frag, just spamming the smoke there. Must have been like a difficult thing for VP to even consider going into that round, but they did get a bomb down. That's important. The fact they can get a bomb down, and to be honest, I'm not really a big fan of this. I'd have preferred them to actually get AKs next round. They've opted for a Desert Eagle, Tech-9s, a Scout. And again, when Fnatic have gone for a full SMG buy here, not even one rifle in sight, they're going to be looking to get quick kills fast. And the close range choke points, we can see an AK coming in from Snacks there and head armor. So for him, it's going to be all around what he can do with that and whether he can keep it long range enough to avoid those SMGs.
Exactly. That's as soon as they figure out that the kind of buy that Fnatic have got, because Fnatic very clearly think, okay, well, you know, they did get that bomb plant in the first round, so they're going to be ecoing hard in this round so that they can buy the AKs in the third round. You know, there's a bit of a pattern here that Fnatic are going off of, and Virtus Pro have decided to break that pattern right off the bat. And it is going to be a B-split push coming in here for Virtus Pro. The smokes are down. Olafmeister stepping, trying to find that angle to work, trying to catch them off guard. Crims up close with the MP9, gets no kills, but Olafmeister with the MP7 will pick up the first. He's about to get shot in the back, however. He needs a quick rotation through, and his teammate will do that. JW there to watch his back, but they lose Olaf in the mix, and now it's going to be a 2-on-3 retake scenario here. JW doing some decent damage, but at this point, it should be impossible for VP to lose. The nade onto JW is pretty much like the period at the end of the sentence there. It is done. It is going to be Pronax basically looking for gear to pick up and try and save at this point. He's got the P90, and that's pretty much the most expensive SMG they had. So it makes sense for him to try and back off and hold on to that. But this is a catastrophe for Fnatic. Right off the bat, they get completely hard countered by VP.
Yeah, like you said, I think they were banking on the fact they assumed that was going to be the Glock buy with the AKs coming out next, and the fact that they got that entry kill onto B and managed to get the bomb down so quickly, and it was so difficult for Fnatic to actually get back into that. Saving one P90 is going to be okay, but like this risk next round, and at least for the next few, Fnatic Virtus Pro should be able to build up some momentum now, and we haven't seen that before. Like the last two maps have gone 10-0 both times, and now they actually post a round to the board quite early on, and this is a good start for VP now. Should be able to show some presence on the score for the long run.
Exactly, this is what had to happen here. Shots exchanged, and Pasha's going to lose that duel versus Olofmeister, who still appears to be a bit fired up as well after that second map on Cash, where he just completely gave, well, I mean, he gave us a godlike performance. Some very rare stuff.
Big damage there. You can see that VP have been injured hard by that scout.
Oh.
2 players on the tag.
Oh, and he gets slapped down. Nicely done. And 3 quick frags come in here for Virtus Pro. They managed to wrap around on long as well, so no fear of getting flanked. They can plant wherever they want at this point. Perfectly safe for them to do so. Pasha waiting for the lurk, and he's going to get caught out by Pronax there. Only with the P250 in hand, however, so it's not the end of the world. JW with that scout is still alive. Pronax on short does not know that there's a man lurking right around the corner. That's Bialy holding that angle, but a smoke goes down, and that's pretty much going to mean, well, that this is an impassable wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
JW with an HE, and he does get a kill onto Taz, but so much time is ticked off this bomb at this point that this is what's going to be happening here. Even if they're getting the kills, Fnatic, they're just trying to make this as expensive as possible for Virtus Pro, and they're doing a fantastic job of it. Snack's nearly dead, and Pronax trying to get into position to catch him out. Running in through long houses, Snack's going to hit the shot. Pronax just barely misses out on the timing, and he just realizes it, but it's a little bit too late. Snack's gets the headshot on Pronax, stays alive, but only a single AK surviving for Virtus Pro. That was far too costly a round for them.
Yeah, but the economy is good still. They're going to force Fnatic still onto a full eco here, so VP still in a very strong position indeed, and I think they can read that quite nicely. We can see Neo there picking out the Mag 10. That's going to be a great scouting tool for them. Even if he loses that when he goes in first, it's like they'll be able to get the information and call where the CTs are. We can see an actual little tag go on Crimson, and he's going to be taken down straight away. Pasha actually picks up the AWP in this early stage of the game, and I think this is nice control play for VP now. They just make sure they don't do anything too silly. Frag for frag and be there, using the buddy system.
Exactly, the buddy system is going to be key. Bullets do a good trick as well. JW will catch out Pasha, however, so that is the AWP down, and pretty much the worst guy to get that kill as well, because now you have JW with an op running around on the map. That might be a little bit of a problem for VP. In any case, it's Olofmeister point blank. Gets the shot onto Taz. He's not going to be able to get more than that. Bialy will hunt him, but that is going to be still some decent damage dealt here by Fnatic in this hard eco. 2 kills, not too shabby. If they can make it away with this AWP, this would be big. 3 kills now, and Neo is gone. JW running for long, and he's going to be able to stay alive here. This is, well, there's quite a bit of time left on this bomb, so they might be able to hunt them. But then again, Virtus Pro, they don't have mountains of cash, so how many do they actually want to sack? You know, how many guns do they want to throw away here trying to get this AWP off of JW?
I think that they'll be looking pretty hard for him. Like the fact he's saved an orb, they know he's got it. They know how important that is. But at the same time, he's got such an advantageous position here. AWP down long obviously favors him in the one-on-one situations. So I don't think now they know he's down there, they probably won't want to go too deep with that.
They're going to stay alive on Cat, so they decide, okay, we'll let you get out of it this time. And that would, if JW had gone for the AWP in this round, it would have been a glass cannon one. Now he can actually afford to get the Kevlar, he can afford to get the nades, he can upgrade his pistol if he wants to. So there are options here now for Fnatic. They get a full buy on the board here, skimping on the helmets in a couple of cases, and no kit picked up. So they really are going to have to shut down Virtus Pro hard early on. As far as VP are concerned, still holding very passively. Snack's actually giving up upper dark to come back in through mid. And Virtus Pro, 3 guys gathered up at top. They really wanted to see if they couldn't catch somebody off guard in mid doors, but that's not going to be the case. Look at this hold from Fnatic. Extremely passive on their part. JW, the only man with the kind of forward position up here on Cat in the Fox spot, but he's going to drop down into CT now. And as far as the B side is concerned, both of them holding solid on the site. Nobody even looking at B slope. They've completely given up mid at this point, Fnatic. That's going to come down to Flusha essentially working his way into CT now. And JW once again holding on to Cat. This is all going to come down to the shots at this point. There you go. JW shoots over his shoulder, and he's still here. Goes for the attempt, and he is going to make it out, just barely. 19 HP left, and he dodges the HE as well. So close. JW takes out Neo now, somehow finding a kill in this situation. And VP, they managed to make it up onto the site, and they are going to plant for Cat, it looks like. So now, can they actually manage to defend? It's actually not even for Cat. This is a total safe plant. They need to stay bottled up on this site. This is not a good situation at all, in fact, for Virtus Pro. As long as they can keep control here, if they can actually manage it, Crims gets the headshot onto Taz. Somehow they do manage to trade back and forth, and Bialy with the lurk and long house catches out Pronax. Still a 2-on-2 here, and Pasha looking for the kill. He gets it point blank onto Olofmeister. JW now the last man alive, and too much time is ticked off this bomb. He decides to back off and try to save this AWP, but he looks to get the kill onto Pasha first. Is he going to catch the peak? Yes, he will, and that is an expensive gun to lose for Virtus.pro. Only a single man surviving, and Bialy, when given the opportunity to kill off JW, he doesn't manage it at all. So they do actually manage to survive this with the AWP Fnatic.
Yeah, it's interesting the fact JW managed to survive that short confrontation. The fact he had an AWP there, didn't pick up a kill. Somehow found Neo in City Spawn. Like, I didn't see him crawl through, but I assume he walked through middle of the doors and found himself in a rotation killing position. But JW took him down. But like you said, a lot of cash lost there for VP, but they've got themselves in a 4-1 position.
I think Bialy was the key player there in Longhouse. The fact that he takes out Pronax means that they can't pincer in onto that A site. So the fact that Fnatic, because Virtus.pro being boxed into that site, that's almost a death sentence right there. Unless they can get control of one or other of the entrances onto that site, they have no room to maneuver with. So Pronax getting caught in the back there by Bialy, that was a big kill there for Virtus.pro, and they're looking very good now with 4 rounds on the board. A single one for Fnatic, a force buy from Fnatic, however, and Crims up close, gets the double kill with the Swag 7, swaps out for the AK as well, so now he's got some sick firepower, and Taz just looking for the mad spray, not going to get it, it's Bialy with the HE instead. Somehow Crims gets caught, and we are now into a 2-on-3. Fnatic going from an advantageous position down to a 2-on-2. Now Pronax at top mid catches out Bialy, nearly takes out Taz as well. And now it comes down to JW holding in CT. Can he actually find a kill here? Taz has been pinned down in lower dark. Pronax toying with him, just trying to buy the time. And that bomb is making its way up onto that site, so they will be able to get the bomb plant here, Virtus.pro. Not a whole lot that JW and Pronax can do at this position. And there's the swap, basically. Go for the big guns. JW actually going for the shotgun. This is insane. He is one of the best Swag 7 players in the world, but still asking a lot. He's going to have to hit some crazy shots here. And nobody peeking on Virtus.pro's side. This is exactly how it's done at this point. They want to force Fnatic through these choke points, and there we go. Pasha takes out JW first. Pronax goes in, tries to follow up, but he's not going to get it done. Pasha will hold window, and that's perfect for Virtus.pro. 5 rounds on the board for them, and that resets Fnatic. They are now in an awkward situation regarding the money.
Yeah, nice move from Pasha there to actually pick up the AK-47. I think that would have been a lot harder to hold had he kept the AWP. The fact after those 2 Mag 7 kills were made, they made a great call there to make it into B. Once they got the bomb down there, they're in a very strong position, and now they can see that Virtus.pro have actually woken up, and they're making a very strong campaign here on the T Harbor now.
They are applying the pressure here as well in this anti-eco round, and it is an anti-eco. No real force coming out from Fnatic. We only see P250s and a single deagle picked up on Flusha. No nades to work with here. So they will be looking for the shots gathered up in CT, trying to deny Virtus.pro the call out the cross, and there you go. Flusha gets the 1 dig onto Taz. So 1 kill going Fnatic's way. We'll see if they can actually find another angle here to work, as the bomb is going to get planted on this A site. Virtus.pro still bottled up here, however. They do have control of long, so they do have a little bit of room to move around here. And that's the crossfire setup that we see in action right there. Neo being able to shoot into Element, but he's got support from A-Slope as well from Bialy. Neo will get the kill onto Pronax. And now it comes down to Fnatic trying to make this as expensive as possible for Virtus.pro. Man walks out in CT, that's Flusha with the deagle looking for another shot, but he is going to take one in turn. And that is going to mean that VP have a way out of here, scot-free. Nothing that Fnatic can do anymore about this bomb going off.
Yeah, really controlled anti-eco there from VP. Didn't give anything away. They may have got 1 dig to take cross, but from that point on, it was a great hold from them. No guns lost in that once the bomb went down. And Fnatic not really able to save much from that. So they're going to have loads of cash here to play with. It'll be interesting to see them run the dual AWP setup. That would be my suggestion for them if they were going to try and mix things up a little bit. And you can see 2 players here considering that, Olofmeister and JW. You can see there's one. And now they're actually opting for 4. So 4 rifles and 1 AWP. Interesting to see they didn't go for the double AWP, so I think that would be perfect for them, just to kind of lock down both bomb sites and have some mid presence.
I'm surprised as well. That's a go-to play for these 2 players, especially considering I mean, Olofmeister in particular had such a crazy map on cash. You think you want to try and pick it up here on Dust2. Look for that moment. Pronax gets flashed in. Here's the aggressive peek, and Cat, they spot out the 1 man at top, and just mad spray there. Flusha steps out, and they are going to trade, but it is not going to go their way. In fact, they do manage to bring it back, but Neo strikes back instantly. And Virtus.pro emerged victorious in that exchange. 3 people alive. Fnatic only with 2. Neo nearly getting caught, however, on Cat, and Crims chucks that HE in. Oh, just barely catches the edge of the wall there. He potentially could have returned that kill, or at least do big damage. Instead now, he's on 18 HP, JW at half. And Virtus.pro currently walking into lower dark, so they are going to be able to get out onto this bomb site. Crims hoping to be able to catch them in the back, and we'll see if he's successful with that. He's starting to push into lower dark. He has an idea of where Virtus.pro have gone. And Virtus.pro, they're going to be able to walk out onto the site. These seconds that it's costing them, that it's taking them to actually clear this out, could give Crims enough time to get the backstab in. And JW, he wants to get in position to try and deny that bomb from crossing, but he's just a little bit too late. With that smoke down, now he tries to set it up, and Crims will get nothing done. And instantly, you see JW go for that 180 and back out of there.
I like what Fnatic did this round. The fact they boosted 2 up short is showing they're being assertive and actually trying to mix things up and surprise the T's before they have a chance just to walk out positions like middle or take some control in short. Unfortunately for them, the T's were just too hot in middle. 3 men at the top of mid, mowing those guys down, and it just took Fnatic straight out of the round there. They were left in a difficult situation, 2-on-3 retake with an AWP in hand. Once the other man went down, JW had no choice but to save this. So another good round from VP, reading the CTs quite well. They looked like they were very aware that was going to happen, and it was a pretty obvious call that Fnatic had to kind of mix things up a little bit. So they have said the deal. It'll be interesting to see whether they can buy with that. So this is another, once you've lost this many rounds in a row, you actually do get a reasonable amount of cash. And there we go, the double AWP setup. This is what we were talking about. Oh no, sorry, have they? Yes, they have.
Yes, they have, yeah.
Yeah, so they got the double AWPs. This is what they needed to do last round. This will be a round I think they'll go in favour of Fnatic, just because they can have 3 rifles, controlling the main choke points in the map, and have the turret set up on the bomb side.
And Crims going for the anti-Russian incendiary there into upper B. He knew he got tagged, and the VP knew that he got tagged, so there was a real chance that Virtus.pro could have tried to power onto that site to get the punish. Instead, they're going to take over mid and invade. Olofmeister there, however, and the crossfire works wonderfully. JW, Olofmeister, Crims, everybody getting a piece of that action. Neo and Taz now the last men alive here in a 2-on-4 scenario. Smokes and Flash is still trying to throw a little bit of a wrench in things, but Pronax is currently pushing out Longhouse. The longer Virtus.pro lurk around over here, Pronax, this could be a big moment. Do they realize that they start to look towards top mid? VP, they could lose a member flat out, but they managed to get onto Cat just in the nick of time. They will get slowed up here, however. Flusha currently holding on A slope is going to be peeking, and he's going to try and get that information out. Pretty sure he spotted Neo there. You see him fall back, trying to hold a more passive angle, just forcing them to walk in, and there it is. That is what it is. That's just textbook communication coming out there between Fnatic, the 2 members holding on that A site. Flusha just says, hey, they're trying to push right now, and Pronax just goes and completely stabs him in the back. Yeah,
forcing them to go up to that A bomb site. Good. Although it's pretty audacious play from JW, having a mid orb that close to the doors, managed to pick up a frag as he always does. He seems to always squeeze them out of impossible situations. It was enough though, and now they managed to get the orbs again. And this should be a few rounds in a row, I think, for Fnatic. It's going to take time for VP to get back into this one, just because they haven't got that orb presence anymore.
JW leaping over here. You can actually see into Suicide like that. Gets the timing just slightly off, but we'll see if he decides to lurk around. That's not going to be the case. They're looking to get the return, or at least the punish on him for holding like that. Olofmeister up on Cat, going to miss the shot. That forces the smoke out of him, but JW will find the shot onto Taz. And that was actually a wall bang, not even a headshot. So once again, he delivers that opening kill for Fnatic, and this is now where Virtus.pro are going to have to start looking to see if they can return. They have to make up their minds where they want to go, and currently they're sitting on Cat. They've completely given up Upper Dark, so the focus here, trying to get all 4 players gathered up for Virtus.pro. They're probably just going to try and rush out onto that site. JW spots the man at headshot box, however, so this could get a little antsy for him. And at this point, they are actually expecting, they're setting up for the B split. Crims holding at top B slope. I mean, JW and Window right now, they see the smoke go down into CT, but this is going to be, I mean, are Virtus.pro going to commit to this? They're still putting a man up on Cat, and this kill going out onto Pasha, this must force them to go for the different decision. They are going to go up onto that A site. Crims annihilates the second player there. Neo is gone, and Olofmeister picks off Snacks immediately. That leaves the bomb now in Bialy's hands in a 1v4. Flash out there on Bialy as well. They're just buying so much time. And at this point, it's a nigh impossible situation for Bialy once he gets pinned down and Gandalf. There's no way out. Olofmeister actually with the wall bang at the end.
Yeah, I like what VP actually did there. They tried to sell the mid to B split so strongly. They actually broadcasted it so loudly that the fact that they didn't even walk out for the smoke, they threw it out from outside middle, and they're trying to send 2 players out there. If they made a couple of frags, it would have really started nicely, and the bomb went up short. It wasn't meant to be and they mowed down the players in middle, and you can see they're actually forced into an eco now for the first time this game.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, the eco, right? It's still like P250 Tech 9 armor and an AK on Taz. It's like this quasi-buy coming through for VP.
Interesting buy. Very interesting. I'm not sure it's going to pay off, especially when we know they've got the AWPs. Going to have to do something very explosive here. They're going to have any look in the game, the bomb down. And
Neo gone. They are pushing up onto long. However, smokes go down to try and block the cross, but there is a gap, and Pronax taking advantage of that. He's going to do good damage to Pasha, but no kill. And now they're just trying to pick these guys off. 3 players survive the run, and they get onto that side for VP. They will be able to get a bomb plan out of this, despite JW going for the jump off. And he spots the man out on Cash, but Pronax cleans that up. It is now Snacks, Pasha, Taz alive. One holding very close here. Pasha trying to catch JW peeking, but there's the Molotov, and this is pretty much instant death. Like Bullet will do it just as well, and Flusha finds a headshot on Pasha. It is going to be Taz now, trying to go for the backstab, but he's 1v5. He can probably take out one here, goes for the spray and loses it. Pronax, long distance, will get the job done. 3 rounds now, well, soon to be 4 for Fnatic. And this is when VP decide to go for the pause.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. So very questionable buy in my opinion. When you're losing rounds on the AKs and the CTs have so clearly adapted to what you're doing, the fact you force up a pistols and armor and just completely destroyed your own economy there. If you look there now, they could have to do they have the option obviously to do the same thing again, but after that round, I'd suggest they do a full eco here, and they probably will get the AWP back into the hands of Pasha and then see what they can do with it. They're going to have to start isolating the bomb site a lot more with the smoke grenades. They're not really utilizing that whatsoever right now. They need to kind of set up the wall of smokes, get the bomb down, and then they know they've got the double AWP set up, so they can work the post-plant situation a lot easier.
Wouldn't be surprised to actually see some kind of halfway buy again here from Virtus.pro, though. I would expect to see the Tech 9s.
Wouldn't be a good call like that. This is how you get yourself in a complete rut in an economy. If you keep force buying and hoping it's going to pull off, and then you end up essentially ecoing 3 times in a row, making it easy rounds for Fnatic. I wouldn't advise it personally, but we can see Snacks has got a very nice spawn there for long. If they just wanted to Tech 9 no armor this, they could potentially get a kill there and see what's available, but like we see VP doing this almost every game. It's a good idea to take these timeouts, but again, they need to be careful of what they do in the next round, because it's just kind of Fnatic could have got the timeout as well. They'll be kind of discussing how they can catch VP out.
Exactly, or how they change it up, because last time we saw VP go for that pause, Fnatic had also made their own changes to their gameplay, and they just completely shut VP out, and that was on a more effective round for Virtus.pro as well, because they actually had money to buy, whereas in this one, it's still kind of halfway there. Nobody really standing out. One thing to say, though, is that nobody was really standing out as far as the frags on this map. Actually, very even across the board for both teams. So they do, it's not just like the Olafmeister who's completely wrecking or anybody else on this map. Pasha right now is actually sitting at 8 frags, so he's kind of warmed up. But it's good to see that there's that consistency across the board, actually. It's not just like one guy getting the job done for anybody.
Immortal players on this map.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the fact they've actually managed to lock Olafmeister down before he can get like 23 for 0, whatever it was. But here we go. It looks like we almost ready. That we can't see.
I don't know. Taz is
yet.
still talking quite a bit right now.
Oh yeah. The headset's still on. We can see the shot there now. It looked like they've kind of lost their hype a little bit. Like you can see, there was a great start for them, and now I think they're feeling the heat a little bit. They can see Fnatic have completely adapted to what they're doing, and now this kind of mentality of working the map and getting picks isn't working for them. Fnatic,
see the difference in demeanor as well for both teams.
I was going to say that.
It's just like Fnatic are just giggling, they're laughing, they're having a good time. I mean, Virtus.pro over there look like it's like the death knell is just rung, and they're trying to figure a way out of it. Yeah, it's totally different. I mean, it is in a different sense as well, because it is still a 2-0 lead as far as the maps are concerned for Fnatic. It is just crucial now for Virtus.pro to win Dust2 to stay in this grand final. So there is quite a bit of difference as far as the pressure is concerned.
We can see the buy going on in the pause. We can see Snacks is actually, they're opting for grenades, armor.
They are going for, they're not going to go for the Tech 9s, but it's P250s, a single deagle, and quite a few nades actually here picked up for Virtus.pro. So the countdown begins. We're out of that timeout, and now we go into it. We have to see Virtus.pro, they know that they're going to get money to go for a full buy, get whatever they want in the next round. So they're just trying to give themselves a better shot here in this round to do some damage.
With the amount of smokes you see on them as well, like expect the bomb plant strategy to be employed. They're obviously looking to get a bomb down in any way possible. Potentially, the bomb's actually making its way towards B. It'll be interesting to see how they can approach that with the smokes, but Snacks actually making some presence on long, and this could work quite nicely for him. He can peel off a few CTs towards his direction.
Well, Henry, the word begins with a Y.
To be fair.
YOLO.
Yeah.
This is it. They're just going to go running out. Flashes, smokes, and they begin to push, and they line up perfectly. Crims just holds down mouse 1 and just daintily drops that bomb on the other side of the smoke. Neo does manage to recover an M4 here off of his single kill, and there's a second one coming in for Taz, so they are actually making this a little bit pricey for Fnatic, nearly picking up a third. Olafmeister lives with 1 HP at the end of the round. But it is still a round on the board now for Fnatic. 5 rounds total for them, 7 for Virtus.pro, and now we go into the buy round where Virtus.pro, they aren't going to be wasting any time at all. They've got the full nades, and they've got the AWP on Pasha.
Yeah, this is what I was saying. They need to kind of slow it down a little bit, work a pick, and then go into a full execute just to shut down those
Has managed to make it out of there with 30 HP. And Fnatic right now, they need to be careful. They don't want to get too picked apart here. Two guys holding in mid right now for VP would be a very bad idea, and this is the bait. They want
Product not yet rated. Available holiday 2015.
All the way down at long, and 2 kills for Bialy, 2 headshots, and Virtus Pro will win the pistol round on this CT side.
Yeah, great work from them to actually pick up those really clean pistol kills before the round had essentially begun. But the main thing is that the Fnatic somehow still managed to get the bomb down. And when the CT's got 5 men alive, you really want to make sure that they... there we go, the signs there. I didn't even know we had those. Yeah, pretty cool. Sorry, just the fact that he's get the bomb down in that situation is pretty sloppy from the CT. They really want to make sure that they're locking down those bomb sites when you have that man advantage. And now we can see like almost a full eco coming in. PT50s for Fnatic, but they will be getting AKs next round, and it's going to be tricky for VP to hold that off. They really want to make sure they don't drop any frag this round.
Shots going through already. Bialy getting headshot, and there's the running gun from Wolfmeister. Taz is there to return the frag, and he gets a second one as well. That Snack's actually going to be picking up the shot on the man on headshot box. Now, Snacks continues to hold. He just mauls Pronax at mid, who darts back past the doors, and they are going to try and establish themselves on the other side of the map at this point. Although Crims has worked his way out long, VP not going to be too concerned about that, considering they have the rifles, so they have the advantage of range on him. He is trying to work his way up the cross, however. If he could get behind them, but he gets spotted and gets caught. Taz with that M4 is going to get rid of him, and it is going to be a 2-man advantage now for Virtus Pro in this round. Fnatic just trying to find a way to get into this situation meaningfully. It's not looking too likely, although Snacks does move very close. A bit dangerous to be facing this closely to P250s, but I guess with the MP9, you're not too worried about it. He's just going to shred them.
There we go. They were looking for any kills they could get, and the fact they managed to pick up one, it wasn't like loads of them, but it took money away from the CTs. And you can see that VP are all too aware of what's going on here. They've got for the 4 rifles. Snacks keeping his MP9 there, but we can see here Fnatic have got AKs and armor, 2 smokes to play with, and everyone's got a flashbang. So expect to see something quite fast and explosive from them that is reworking some map control, and then they'll have to choose their site and execute pretty quickly. They haven't got a lot to work with.
Yeah, and taking a fight like this, essentially, look at this. Virtus Pro basically employing the same methods as Fnatic. Nice follow-up made by Pasha. So that will be 2 kills for him. But that is also that is the same kind of hold that we saw Fnatic using on their CT side, getting 2 guys up onto Cat like that to take that fight. And Virtus Pro make it work excellently there. Yeah. So Fnatic now in a bit of a tight spot, seeing as how they have a handful of nades to work with, but they're down 2 men and they haven't dealt any damage to the remaining VP members. Oh, Snacks. That was fancy. I don't know if you wanted to, if you hit that just right there. As far as Fnatic are concerned, they still need to try and just hope that somebody's going to make a mistake on VP's side. And Taz, he lives through that hail of bullets and gets the kill. Headshot onto Wolfmeister as well down in pit. This is so tough for Fnatic. They're just trying to get lucky with the shots right now. Wolfmeister, he's aim usually dead on, and he will force Pasha to give ground and fall back. This could give an opportunity here for Pronax to step in, who gets 1 frag. Could get a second one here as well. Man and Element is gone. 6 shot by Pronax. He's got that bomb as well. Goes for the smoke. He's going to try and set it up and at least get the bomb plant out of this situation. Planting for long as well. So he has some options here. Shots from Taz, but he will not be denied. And Pronax actually going to set up his own pop flash. Tries to fight his way out, and he does actually blind the man on Cat, but Snacks regains his vision just in time to win that fight. And it will be VP, well, basically returning order to the universe. They pick up that round. They will be able to get an 11th round here in the second half.
Great work for him to get the bomb down. It's going to just return the economy to a stable level. Probably won't be able to buy this time. But what was good from VP there, it's nice dynamic play. They know the AKs are coming. They have to do something to get those early kills, just so they can kind of get themselves a comfortable position. They know they're on the back foot there a little bit with AKs on Dust2. So they got up the push on short, made the first 2 frags. Second one with that great grenade going to lower B, great read. And now it's going to, interesting buy actually from Fnatic. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of this. They're going all in with the armors and Tech 9s and a couple of kills there as well. This is a very big round indeed. This could be game defining.
This is, they've got the nades going up onto Cat, so they are managing to soften them up somewhat. And this is now just going to be pure speed. Pasha bumping into JW. That's pretty much the worst case scenario there. Shots going through, trying to catch out Pasha, but Wolfmeister has managed to work his way up onto this site. And 2 kills coming in on Cat. Key frags there. That opens the way now for Fnatic to get up onto this A-bomb site. The Molotov goes in, and VP now nearly out of nades. They have a single decoy to work with, and the bullets just coming in here, raining in for Fnatic. Flusha will take out Taz. Olofmeister having pinned down the man. Snacks on CT slope, and the last kill going to Flusha. The fact that he's just going to work long range with the CZ is ridiculous. Flusha's aim is on point right now.
Perfect timing from him. The fact he managed to, like, the call came in, the players were facing him from CT spawn. He just faced someone in the back and actually managed to pick up 2 frags with the CZ, just showing how dominant he is with that gun and how much big work he can do with it. And now the momentum has shifted. Like I said, game-defining round that was. So you can see the momentum shifts towards Fnatic, and VP actually being forced to get the scout and CZ buy out here.
And they went for a bit of a gamble there, VP as well. They left that B side open. Flusha actually hitting the perfect timing, getting the double spray and triple. Just completely getting into the middle of VP there. Nearly gets the quad, but Pasha rushes him down. And it's going to be Neo and Pasha left here for Virtus.pro. 3 members, well, make that 4 for Fnatic on this B side. And JW does get the wall bang onto Neo there. That leaves Pasha alone. He has picked up an AK, and he's trying to run away with it. It seems like Crims is hot on his heels, however. Pasha sets up that smoke and hits the timing perfectly, catches out Crims. So now Pasha's actually looking to do a bit more damage here. He knows that Fnatic don't have much money to work with. If he can get some kills in, this is an eco round situation for him. He has no kit, so I'm not sure about the sparkle moment, but he is really looking to see if he can't catch another kill. And it will not happen. Pronax, wisely watching into Upper Dark, will pick him off. So Fnatic bringing it back to 9 rounds for themselves, 11 rounds for Virtus.pro. And after that round of eco, they are going to be able to buy. Snacks has 6,700. And he's going to hold on to the AWP. He's not giving it over to Pasha.
Yeah, we see this a lot more from VP actually, especially on the CT side. He is a great defensive AWP. He holds the angles very well, and you can put him in a bomb site and he'll do like stellar work with it. So you can see him getting some mid control here, working on what's going on, and he actually manages to stay on Olofmeister. Pretty questionable move from him. Why he's staying there so long, especially when it's smoked off. But there you go, VP straight into this round.
Oh wow, JW just figures it out. A little bit too far forward with that smoke, realizing that somebody could have been holding him that angle. JW will get the punish on Taz, and now Pasha on Cat wins the duel versus JW. Virtus.pro once again retaining control. And now this leaves, I mean, Fnatic, how many times now have they been down to 3 members just trying to execute onto a site? They're very low on nades now as well. They have the 2 smokes and a single Molotov on Flusha. But they have control of long, and that's the important bit here. Crims getting a key frag onto Snacks. That's going to open up Cat. And they spot out the man on site. Crims somehow not finding that headshot. The Pronax will, however, do it, and Bialy is gone. Now it's Flusha pushing up long, barely missing out on Pasha there. Pasha manages to dart back into CT just in the nick of time. And Pronax now going to be able to get this bomb plant. Now that Flusha is here to watch his back, it will be both members for Virtus.pro rotating into Cat. And look at this from Fnatic. They're actually moving forward, the 2 of them together. Neo is gone. And now do they get the read? Are they on point? Yes, they are. Pasha takes out Pronax, and he looks for the other one, and he gets it just in the nick of time before Flusha can get around the corner. Pasha will land the shot, and there will be time for him to defuse as well. He did pick up a kit.
Yeah, it's a huge round there. I was going to say, Fnatic actually seem to be losing frags here before they even have the chance to gain map control and work what's going on. That pick at the start of the round for me was the fundamentals of the loss there. Like the fact that they lost one of their strongest players to a silly pick. Like why he's facing middle down there, trying to facing the AWPs is beyond me. But the fact Fnatic converted that to a 2-on-1 situation, and Pasha digging deep, managing to pull it off, and he seems to be firing all cylinders on this map. He really is showing that he's woken up and he's ready to take this 3rd map.
He is. I mean, he's definitely doing the damage. And, well, there you go. Speak of the devil, Pasha and Bialy going toe-to-toe at long, and they actually win that fight hands down. And just like last round, once again, Fnatic, only 3 players remain, except that now there are 5 players alive for Virtus.pro. So this is going to be a bit difficult now for the Swedes. They need to force Virtus.pro to make a mistake here and peak them somehow.
Again, the frags being lost within the first 20 seconds of the round. They need to gain some map control first and allow the CT to use all their smokes and grenades before they run into them.
And a headshot there by Taz. Follow-up spray. Gets the job done. He will mess up, however, going up against Flusha. So Flusha will find the headshot there. JW trying to rush his way out onto this B site. There's a man boosted. However, he does not realize it. And Neo just trying to go to work with that MP9. Will not get the kill. Somehow JW gets out of dodge. And Flusha catches out Bialy. So we're into a 2-on-3 now. And they could actually get up onto this A site. Pasha only just now walking his way up CT slope. Flusha drops the bomb to be safe. He does not want to risk it. He leaves it behind for JW to pick up. But he doesn't find the angle to work there. Pasha will still be alive on Element, but we're into a 2-on-2, and this is a key round right here. This could give Fnatic so much speed, so much power, and there it is. Pasha hits the timing perfectly. JW missing a flick. And it will be Flusha now 1v2. Alive on the site and planting safe, so there will be no jump shots there this time, Pasha. Flusha, however, if Pasha gets greedy, Pasha's just jumping all over the place. Flusha just leaps at him, wins the fight, and looks for the follow-up. He drops Neo down low, down to 40 HP, but Flusha's so low as well, on to 8. And Flusha just looking to catch the angle, but he's not going to get it right. Neo will get the shot in, and that is going to be plenty of time for the defuse for him. 13 rounds now on the board, and this time around, a clutch situation, another one going to Virtus.pro.
We saw VP win very little to no clutches on the last 2 maps, and now they actually seem to be winning them, and that's the difference in this game. This is why they've got an advantage. They're working together and making sure they're not making silly mistakes. Bomb got down, and they approached the situation perfectly. Went down to a one-on-one, and Neo knew what he had to do, knew he was low, and managed to land that last shot, and now they've got into a very nice situation here. Money is low for Fnatic. They've gone to a Deagle, a Galil, and it's not great in the other camp as well, but they definitely have the advantage, and now they want to just close this out round by round, keep doing what they're doing, it's working, and just keep forcing Fnatic to lose those first 2 frags at the start of the round.
And you see Fnatic, well, at least they don't go charging out long this time. They have slowed down the pace somewhat. Now we start going back to a bit more of the standard play.
Absolutely, this is what they needed to do, just to kind of make sure they don't lose a man before like 20 seconds is even passed.
Oh, wow, man, we're almost at a minute, and all 5 of them are still alive.
I know.
It's crazy.
This should work out well for them.
We'll see if they're actually going to be able to build off of this. Virtus.pro on their side, they're completely spread out across this map. They have set up for a good crossfire in mid, however, so if Fnatic decide to go through here, could get dicey for them. And they are rotating that bomb up. Cat, the man who was in upper dark, has backed off as well. Soon to be 4 players here on Cat. Curious to see if they're going to get a flash through. Olofmeister does have a flash. Top mid, they could try to flash their way through these mid doors. Flash goes off. Flusha goes charging through. Pre-fires the angle. Not going to spot anybody. And it is going to be the push-up Cat here with 30 seconds left. Man holding up close and Pasha holding at T. Taz, the overlap here. Will it be effective? Will it be able to stop Fnatic? There's the smoke going down by Fnatic and the pop flash as well. Taz blinded, backs off, and it's now down to Pasha, who turns away. And they realize that they need to focus on long. They want to control this space, this area. Leave it to Taz to find the kills, but he's missing for now. Flusha crushes down, and it is going to just be this bomb plant here in this angle. Fnatic somehow walking all 5 members up alive onto that site. And now it gets very difficult for Virtus.pro to get the retake. JW landing the shots. Olofmeister chimes in. Crims is there, and everybody getting a piece of it. Where's Pronax? He needs to get the last kill here onto Pasha, because Pasha is now stuck. He's alive in pit. He's been boxed in. And Pronax clicking away. It will be Flusha to get the final kill of that round.
See what I mean? When you just slow it down and don't give away those frags early on, Fnatic should be winning this situation. And the difference is when they go up short, they execute it onto it properly. They don't just walk up and let the CTs have full visuals and actually, like I said before, have that shooting range mentality. The smoke was dropped, the flash was done into CT spawn, they were crouching, they were aware where the CTs were, and that was the difference. They got the bomb down very cleanly and made the frags happen after that. So very, very good round for Fnatic there, and it's actually forced Fnatic onto an eco, VP onto an eco here, and this should be the round where Fnatic can actually scrape a few rounds back, and I wouldn't be surprised if this went to 13-13 now.
I mean, grind some rounds out, and more importantly, just get some bank going, because now they've reset themselves here. And we are going to have the aggressive push there by Neo. Quick double frag comes in, however, and that opens up this B site for Fnatic. Snacks and Pasha, the last 2 alive, and they aren't anywhere near this bomb plant. So Fnatic can now establish some control on this side of the map. Snacks is basically going to lurk over here, and Pasha as well on long, hoping to be able to catch somebody out, potentially pick up a gun to save at the end of the round. This is the goal now for the remaining 2 VP members. They need to try and make this expensive for Fnatic, but Fnatic are playing this fairly carefully. They have started spreading out across this map, and they will just canvas it. Snacks gets caught in CT, and Pasha, the last man alive here, going to be looking into CT, gives away his position and walks into a bullet, but he did hit the shot onto JW, dropping him dangerously low, so that was a very close call there for Pasha. He nearly got it done.
We see this actually going to be a double eco, I think, for VP. They might be able to get a few 5-7s and maybe potentially a scout if they fancied it. I wouldn't recommend it, but we can see the PT Fitsu's being bought, a CZ in hand, and this is great for Fnatic. Now they're going to be able to string a couple of rounds together, and like I said, 13-13, pretty sure is incoming.
The P250s are there, and we'll see if they can actually get some pre-fire in here. Flash goes off. Pasha slowly working his way, well, forward basically. He wants to get within lethal range. That one-shot headshot, you have to be pretty close with the P250, but it is possible. Olofmeister does manage to get that kill, however, and there will be no success for VP in that venture. They are trying to dance on the edge of this smoke, but then JW waiting, catches out Neo. They're going to try and go through mid here as well. Snacks hoping to hit that timing. Crim's not looking his way, but the HE right on top of him. And did they realize that it was man holding close? Crims, he's like, okay, somebody's got to be here. What is going on? They're just zeroing in on Virtus.pro, 1 man at a time. Olofmeister just patiently waiting, and he spots the heal. No luck for Bialy. Olofmeister spotted you there. He's looking to try and deny him, and he's just taking this fight straight up. Another headshot for Olofmeister, and it's down to Snacks. Last man alive here for Virtus.pro, and what has been a very patient round for Fnatic. Just a series of duels, and because of obviously the fire superiority that they have with those rifles versus the pistols, they've won them all handily. And that kind of leaves Snacks in a bit of a tough spot. I mean, he just needs to kind of sit. Yeah, he just needs to sit and see if he can't get lucky here. Not a single point of damage has been dealt to the Fnatic members.
There's no real need for them to hunt. Obviously they will, but like the fact that he's got a PT50 holding T-Spawn, not a lot's going to happen with it. I predict we're going to see something interesting from VP this round, like we saw in their first gun round. It wouldn't surprise me if they boosted up Shorthair, and they've actually, yeah, there we go, they're changing it up. The dual orb setup, which I keep trying to tell everyone, this is the best setup you can run on Dust2. This is when you can really control the map and kind of slow down this more slow play that Fnatic are employing.
And is this the change of pace now from Fnatic? Look at this, Molotovs, flashes, everything going out. Neo is actually going to get this smoke down, and they don't commit to it, Fnatic. It looked like for a second there they just might. They might try and run out onto that B site. Pasha once again occupying short, looking into lower dark, so they know that there are going to be players there for Fnatic. So it is an appropriate move here for Virtus.pro to try and get that punish out. Krim somehow works his way close, and the HE goes sailing out. He dodges that, no problem at all. And Pasha knows that there's a man up on the box. He's going to get that kill easily onto JW, and there's the entry frag. There's the opening frag, at least, for Virtus.pro.
That's what they need. That's what I was saying before. They need to change it up a little bit, get that first frag and start shifting the momentum in their favor, and get Fnatic, well, not allow them to come up on the bomb side so easily and plant about a frag being exchanged.
And Snacks with his AWP over here. He spotted a man go up on the headshot box. He unfortunately looks away as the man walks past on Cat. Bialy flashed completely blind, not going to see what hit him. And that bomb is currently waiting up on Cat. We already have the rotation coming out from Virtus.pro. Olofmeister at long catches out Pasha. Instant headshot there. Olofmeister now going to be able to set up that CT smoke to allow for the cross. Essentially lock VP out of this bomb site. The remaining players for Virtus.pro now milling about in CT. There is a man up on Cat. That is Neo. But he gets completely annihilated there by Flusha.
Yeah, that rattled his ancestors.
And now what do you do? I mean, well, what do you do? Snacks, I mean, they're doing it. They try and hold on to their guns. Virtus.pro do not have a bank to fall back on right now. They need to hold on to the AWP and the M4.
Unfortunately, well, when they first got that initial pick, that was mission accomplished. And I felt like the CT should have just fell back to the bomb sites there. They knew that they've got the man advantage. Bialy, unfortunately, opting to stay in that pretty weak position. You don't normally go behind steps unless you have a man to back you up with flashbangs and stuff like that. He got taken down on a bit of a bum rush from short, and that was the defining moment. They did so well to get that opening kill from Pasha, and that's what they needed to do, and they just kind of threw it away a little bit. And it's going to be disappointing. They have managed to keep the guns here, so that is something they can take away from this round. But as I said, 13-13, it's happened. Fnatic have got themselves right back into this game, and here we go. This is going to be a very important run indeed. You can see the economy on VP isn't great at all. They have got the AWP to play for, though. They're going to have to do a similar tactic what they did last round. Put them into advantageous position, look for the pick, and then work from there.
Now, this is all about, exactly. This is all about getting those pick battles right now won, and they go for the NOA tower as well in mid, trying to catch them out on cap. But this is when Fnatic go for the power play. They go rushing right onto the B site. Neo gets completely caught out in the open by Pronax. They do manage to make the cross as well. So bomb plant should be happening here. Nobody can actually force their way through. Flusha holding up close, and it is going to be the man holding. Taz at window. He does get a great spray. Hits that timing, but Flusha's right there with the instant reply. And Snacks and Bialy going to be the last two players alive here for Virtus.pro. They are right outside, however, and they have an M4 and an AWP, so considerable firepower. With two tagged up players on Fnatic's side, Pronax and Flusha both low. This isn't necessarily a bad situation, but also, once that triangle is set up on that B site, and like we were saying earlier, B site Dust2, so difficult to retake, they decide to hold on to the guns once again.
There we go. This is the time Fnatic will hunt. They know like how the economy's been affected on VP, and they want to take those guns down, especially when Flush has just got a P90 in hand. He doesn't mind losing that. He'll run after them all day long.
And he needs to get out there basically, and we'll see. Not sure if they spotted him. Virtus.pro doing a very good job of just holding passive angles, not giving anything away. And you have Flusha there on your screen now. 14 rounds on the board for Fnatic, 2 rounds away from the title here at Gfinity. Virtus.pro, they need 3 rounds to stay in this final. So we'll see if they can manage it now. They get a full buy behind this, 2 AWPs. JW has his AWP over there for Fnatic as well. And this time around, Fnatic, they slow down the pace somewhat. Although they are taking a bit of an extended battle over here in Upper Dark, they do back off in time. Olofmeister not able to make his way out onto long either. And now we get to have a bit more of a standard play between both of these teams. Fnatic with 3 players in mid controlling this area, 1 guy in Upper Dark, 1 guy outside of long. This is textbook stuff. And you can see already Virtus.pro, they take up a bit more of a catch-all solution as well. 2 guys holding B. 1, however, has come onto B slope, whereas the man is going to rotate around. That's Taz basically playing that rotator role, holding in CT, holding in mid, having to basically bounce from site to site. trying to figure out where Fnatic are coming from. Virtus.pro have so very little information to go off of right now. They have a smoke going down into CT. There was a flash there as well, but what do you know? Taz is desperately looking to see if anybody's trying to infiltrate here, but he doesn't see anybody. And as far as on Upper Dark, they're blind. They have 2 guys holding on B side right now, Virtus.pro. They have no idea that this is going to be a cat push coming through. Taz does get an inkling, though, and he backs up. And here we go. Pasha, the key man for Virtus.pro in the defense. These are hard shots to hit, but they are so important to holding this site. He needs to have an impact with this AWP.
I wouldn't be surprised if the same smoke came down here and locked him out with the flashbangs. Taz actually picking up the frag there, and it's going to be the advantage now to VP, and this is the one they need to lock down. Try not to lose any men here, so money will retire if they lose this round.
Well, Wolfmeister finds Neo, that's the rotator, but the damage is done essentially here. I mean, Pasha's still there. They're still just trying to run across. They don't actually have any nades to use, and 6 seconds left. It really was just try and run up, get behind the boxes, plant safe, and hope, cross your fingers that you can actually pull it off there. But Wolfmeister, I mean, uncharacteristic of Fnatic, actually running out of time in a round.
Yeah, well, the fact that they actually didn't use the smokes like they did last time, like they actually executed onto A so nicely last time, smoked off the vision from Car, flashed onto site, pushed them back, and I kept them guessing what was going on. That round they just opted to run out. Obviously, like you said, the time was running out. They just needed to get out, and perhaps that round was a little bit too slow. They have got a full buy now, 14-14. Anything could happen. Let's go.
And here we go again with the aggression, and they get picked up, but JW does return. Man holding the angle there. Bialy is alive on Pit, however, and he's going to be able to return, take out JW. So once again, Fnatic find themselves with 3 members alive here at the very beginning of the round. Within 20 seconds, they've lost 2 members, and they take some nade damage as well, trying to push up and get an aggressive push going onto this A bomb site. Taz holding on A slope, however, trying to stop this. Cold Snacks is there with a kill onto Olaf. It is going to be Taz finally succumbing, but then the Molotovs come raining in, and Flusha caught in a corner very neatly here. Nowhere to go. 4 HP left. He couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, great, nice defensive play from VP there, utilizing the incendiaries perfectly, stifling the T's into that corner. You see them just kind of jumping around the barrels, trying to stay alive, really force them into a difficult spot. And now we go into the last round. Will VP able to take this round? Will they keep their cool and not let anything slip? They're doing great at getting these opening frags at the start of the round. I'd like them to see them kind of keep that pressure up and not be scared of the fact that this is such an important round.
And Pronax has managed to sneak his way out onto long. Pasha once again holding with this effective cat. I mean, basically pushing up into cat, looking into lower dark, seeing if he can pick somebody up. This time around, however, he's not able to stick. He's not able to wait there to pick off JW like he did last time. Instead, they change it up and go for the boost in mid, and Fnatic not checking it, not going for the pre-fire, not going for the nades to punish. They get picked off clean. Taz does drop down to 6 HP. What's important now is that Virtus.pro have that man advantage. Fnatic are going to have to deal with this now. And at this point, as far as Fnatic are concerned, they still have some nades going. 4 smokes to work with, so there are options for them here. But it's going to come down to the entry, and Wolfmeister waiting. Smoke clears, and as it clears, he pulls the trigger, takes Bialy out of the equation. 4 players left here on each side. This is the 30th round. Virtus.pro on the edge of keeping their hopes alive here in this finals. Fnatic battling for overtime at this point. And Taz gets flashed out on long. Not very effective, however, and he does not spot the man lurking in the corner. That's Taz gone. Pasha flashed white, and there we go. The flash is effective. Fnatic, now they have the shot. Now they have the chance of getting this to overtime. 2-man lead going into this. Neo and Snacks, there's no saving now. They have to try and get in position to retake on this site. 2 players alive on Cat, 4 Fnatic, and 1 holding it long. Pronax is going to be in position now to catch out Neo when he tries to come through these doors, whereas Snacks is about to run into a wall of lead. 2 players alive on Cat with AKs. Going to be very tough for him. He needs to hit that shot instantly, and he will get caught. Pronax to take out Neo as well, and it is going to be 15-15. Overtime on the 3rd map in this best of 5.
A common mistake VP seem to be making here is getting that man advantage like they did at the start of the round there. Great creative play, getting that boost up over the smoke. The Fnatic not even aware that was going to be a possibility. Get that first frag. And then again, I think it was Bialy from last time he was holding that steps area, manages to get himself AWP'd, and that was the entrance for Fnatic. They had no options there in that situation. They were just looking for any sort of opportunity that VP would give them, and he found it. Wolfmeister found the pick on short, and that's where that round broke down for them. Now they've lost that edge they had. Everything's been reset, and we go into overtime.
And Fnatic are going to be feeling good. They're going to be the ones who have high spirits now going into this first
100%.
half. They just managed to bring that back from the brink, whereas Virtus.pro, no, they got robbed. They should feel like they had that. Pronax waiting on the edge. Perfect timing for the flash. He's going to get picked up free. Taz to start things off here for Virtus.pro. And Fnatic now down to 4 remaining members here, already light on the nades. We're barely a minute 20 in, and they don't have a whole lot to work with. It's going to be that B-split smoke going down into CT. Flash through from Snacks. He's going to try and set this up. Doesn't spot anybody, and now that smoke could go down in the mid doors. And he's going to throw it right in. Now it comes down to whether Fnatic are feeling brave or not.
They're always feeling brave. Smoke's never been a problem for them. Here they come.
Oh, that's a good smoke on the Snacks, but Do they realize that he's going to be waiting close like this? Snacks, this is what he's famous for. This is what he's known for. He walks through, gets the headshot, but Olofmeister returns instantly and stabilizes at 4-on-4. However, Neo does manage to take out Flusha in the mix, and Taz waiting on the edge. Catches out JW for free. They know there's a second man, and he is going to be able to turn in time. Taz to pick off Crims, and there it is. A decisive round to start things off in this overtime for Virtus.pro. And you can see, I mean, their coach Cuban, he's showing the emotions.
Yeah, great smoke play there from Taz, who's so clever. Didn't overcommit, holding on the other side of that smoke and just forcing Fnatic to come out middle, and he picked up 2 very important frags there. And that's going to be the great start here. They need to pick up, I'd love to see them pick up a 3-0 on the CT side, make Fnatic really work for this.
Oh, and Snacks actually does get the spot, but he misses the shot. That was such a close thing. HE through, and Fnatic, they're trying to go again for the ultra-fast aggression here. Straight up, Cat trying to get in position, but Pasha's there. Hits the initial shot. Flash to slow down things as well, and they are going to have to back off here, Fnatic. If they decide to push this, this is going to get nasty. Pasha's still alive. Do they have the flash? They have somebody to set it up. They have a single one on Olofmeister. It's incredible that Fnatic are not having more nades to work with. They're just throwing them willy-nilly everywhere. That smoke goes down now, and BP also equally low. Molotovs on them, 3 of them, and a single flash on Pasha. And all they have to do now, VP, is essentially hold. They've got 2 guys holding in mid just to stop this B split if it decides to come through, which is a great call on Virtus.pro's part. Although I don't appreciate the fact that they've left that bomb site unguarded. Neo sneaking out onto B slope like that could leave an opening there for Fnatic. If Fnatic had just decided to push into that site at that moment, that could have spun everything out of control. Olofmeister getting a kill onto Pasha is certainly going to help things here for the Swedes as well, but with 35 seconds left on this clock, they really don't have a lot of time. And the lurk continues, 25 seconds left, and look at the rotation coming out from VP. They are calling it for A. Olofmeister still working his way up here, and he is making some noise. Flusha pushes through on mid doors, however, and that opens things up. Do they realize, can they actually go out onto this site? Snacks is going to take out Olofmeister point blank, and now they have to commit Fnatic. They have no time, 10 seconds left. They need to make the jump across. They will do so, and that bomb going to get planted just in time. Neo going to try and get in here to deny it. Does he get the timing? No, he does not. Instead, Crims will just slap him down. And it's going to be Snacks and Taz, the last 2 alive here for Virtus.pro, going into this second round, or the end of this second round of overtime. And they are going to attempt the retake, it seems, or at least they want to get in here fast. Man advantage now, and they do swap the information, but Crims takes out Taz in the mix, and Flusha, he was the guarantee. Crims doesn't even need his help. 3 kills for Crims.
Again, VP getting the advantage early in the round, and when that happens, Fnatic actually adopted that sort of Navi mentality, where they're just relying on the AWP. They're so confident in his ability that he'll find an angle. They're willing to wait until around 10 seconds, and Olofmeister really made it work for them. Taking down Pash on the A bomb side there, really, really vital, because he actually managed to peel away CTs, allowed an opportunity there, and then in they went. Bomb went down to 5 seconds to go, and it was just really, really nice like trust they have in Olofmeister to find something there.
Now we go into the last round of this first half here, and it is dead even, 16-16 between both of these teams. And once again, Pasha occupying Cat, hoping to catch somebody out. Fnatic this time around, however, they did sneak Pronax out early, and he is going to win the battle versus Taz. That is certainly not going to help things here for the Polish team. And Fnatic now, they start to push out through mid. Snacks to win the first battle. They're going to follow up on him instantly there. JW just hunts him down. There is 1 man left alive on this site. That is Neo. Gets the flash, and he's going for the fight, but he's not going to win it with that 5-7 up close. JW will take that fight and win and run. And Bialy now does manage to bring it back to a 2-on-3, but it's still looking very grim here for Virtus.pro in this last round. Pronax waiting. There's the shot from Pasha. That's the kind of kill that they need.
Great game sense there. Even with the bomb down, he's so sure that's coming.
They don't have a whole lot of time here either. Bialy trying to push forward. Molotov, he's not going to get anything out of that apart from the information. And the perfect nade, getting caught in the corner there as well. And the final kill to go to Flusha. Fnatic just holding. They force Virtus.pro into a tight spot. And Virtus.pro, they just can't manage to get through there in time. So at this point now, Virtus.pro, they need that. I mean, basically, they're going to have to pick up 2 rounds in the next half or they're toast. Fnatic, once again, only need 2 rounds to pick up the title.
Yeah, great work from Fnatic to actually get themselves back into that. Like, even when they're losing the first frag, they're just managing to claw back into it. And that was really, really nice play from them, getting the bomb down in B. Again, when we see the dual AWP set up, when the CTs are in there, it's really hard for them to retake. They read that, got into B, bomb was down, and then some great utility work. Grenades in the window, taking them down, and this is a very comfortable position. All of a sudden, this is the first time where Fnatic really looked like they're in the driving seat now. This has been VP's map essentially the whole time, and now this is time. This is they need to dig deep here on the T side. We didn't see them do much great work on T side, to be honest, is VP talking. But now we can see them picking up the AWP, and we can see that dual orb setup coming again from Fnatic, which worked so well for them before in their campaign.
And that was a great shot by Pasha to start things off, managing to tag down Crims, but JW through mid wins the battle versus Pasha.
Very important.
And this is a double op as well by Fnatic, so a big investment for them in this first round. MR3 like this, they only have $10,000. Full buying with an AWP, you're spending at least $6,000, right? So this is very scary now for Fnatic. They absolutely need to win this round. And there's the shot again, follow-up by JW, puts it through the door this time. And there's a man lurking through, but of course JW manages to react in time. He goes again, this man just does not stop peeking. There's the flash through, he takes the fight, he's down to 47 HP. He seems intent on just throwing away the advantage that they have, but then again, it's just insane how he manages to pick up the kills in these sorts of situations. Flusha holding it, Cross gets dropped down to 4 HP, does manage to throw out that flash, however, to slow things down for Virtus.pro. But it is still a two-man advantage for Fnatic. And they are rotating through. Neo waiting on the slope, trying to catch them out. And there's a man now pinned down in CT spawn, so this is going to get a bit tricky here for Crims. He's very low on HP to begin with, and JW just trying to find the shot. He is going to get that flash opening, but he can't actually connect with the AWP. Finally, he peeks one time too many, and Bialy takes his face off, but it will be the remaining members for Fnatic. Just superiority in numbers at that point. Virtus.pro, they were just going to get bodies thrown at them until they just, well, they couldn't hold no longer.
It really blows my mind how JW can even justify facing it again after getting such two big frags for his team. The fact he's willing to even sacrifice the round just to kind of keep going. And he always seems to pull it off. When you're at that level of skill, you just can do what he wants, and he gets away with it every single time. Huge round for them. That is the draw coming in for Fnatic. One more round to go, and they take this $25,000 tournament here at Gfinity Masters.
That is the edge now, and can VP actually bring this back 2 rounds in a row? And JW with the aggressive peek into lower dark. First time he's done that as well, so this is big. That catches Neo off guard. He's looking for another one. He lines it up. He's going to miss the shot, and they try to hunt him down, but VP not fast enough this time. JW just dodging around that angle. They will find the kill over at long, however. That's Pronax getting caught out by Bialy. 2 players invading, essentially, for Virtus.pro, and the other 2 actually starting to push up Cat. So Virtus.pro trying to get a bit of a timing advance here on Fnatic, trying to catch them by speed. They will realize eventually that there's nobody else here on this site. It's going to come down to a retake scenario here for Fnatic. 2 players holding a CT like this as well, and the Molotovs slowly burning time off the clock. A minute has just passed, and VP will successfully get this bomb plant down. They have control of long as well, but no AWP. Instead, it's Snacks going to work with that AK. Takes out Olafmeister. Man caught on CT slope. That's JW. Hits the shot point blank. Bialy still this last line of defense, essentially, because Crims takes out Taz. And Pasha with the flank onto Cat. This could be a huge moment for him. If he can actually get a kill, defend this plant, this would be big. JW takes out the long man, but Pasha's now giving away his position. And the plant is being defused right now. Nothing that Pasha could do. They will be able to pick up yet another title in the year of 2015. Fnatic with a dominant 3-0 win in the finals.
Wow, that was really was the JW show in overtime, really. Like, he just pulled out all those stops, dynamic play, facing the lower B, getting the kills in middle, really working hard for his team there. And it's nice to see VP like bringing back some dignity there. They had some poor showings in the first 2 maps, but showing that Dust2 is actually a strong map for them, taking Fnatic to overtime. Fantastic work from them. And what an exciting last map to finish things off.
And they look just so cool as well, as if there was nothing else. You know, there's no other outcome that was possible for Fnatic. They were going to 3-0 VP, and that's just basically what it is. They clocked in, and now they're clocking out. And they've just won quite a bit of money as well in the process. So
absolutely. I think VP will be a little bit disappointed with that. We discussed the mentality going into this game after playing such a long series of best of 3. We felt like they would have been drained, and we've seen signs of that as they were doing it.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, your champions, Fnatic.